It is Larry's Horns happy hour, and it is a happy, happy day in the Longhorn world. We're going to get to that video in just a minute. I want you to see something there. I want you to see a couple things. So, guys, welcome to Larry's Horns happy hour. This is our weekly show. I'm a day late. I always wonder why it's Larry doing what he's doing. I was thinking there might be a little more news today, and I wanted to get in with the news in the cycle. So we waited today. Plus, I was really, truthfully, guys, I was really working deep on some Astro stuff yesterday, but I wasn't too fretting too much because I actually did think there might be some stuff coming today. And actually, I could wait another 2 more days because I think there may be more stuff. But let's get the Horns happy hour going. If we need to do another Horns happy hour this week, we will. But I got the Texas is greater than OU shirt. Let me get it down. There you go. Texas greater than OU. Um, oh, don't do that. Hang on, guys. Um, and so here we go. Let's get to it. This is our weekly update of things going on in the Longhorns world. And if you're not engaged, if you haven't been on Twitter, you haven't followed any of the Texas Longhorn boards or the Georgia boards, you don't know the big news of the day. But before I go any further, uh, we're going to go through what my content on the website is at larrythegm.com. And what I would say for you guys, oh, that's the wrong caption. Look at that. I'm giving you guys. There we go. Sorry, guys. Um, what I'd ask you to do is please like the video, please join the channel, and please come subscribe to the site. So subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to LarryTheGM.com, and enjoy the videos. Please like the videos I put out. I'm trying to have some fun with you guys on a weekly basis with an Astros video, with a Longhorn video. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna review the Longhorn news. Then we're gonna jump into we'll talk about some rumors and somewhere we're going to go, and then we'll take a glance again at the depth chart. So it's going to be a shorter one today, but let's have some fun with it. Some big news, big stuff going on in the Longhorns world. So hopefully you can jump in and enjoy. So let's talk. Several things have happened this week. Number one, players declared themselves eligible for the NFL draft. The guys returning. These are the big, I'd say, the big three that are really important for the Longhorns. The returning Whittington. Okay, so the wide receiver room is stacked, is loaded, and it's going to be even more loaded with the second bullet. The second thing we talk about, Jones. Christian Jones is coming back. I'm not even sure he's going to start, guys, but we'll see. I have Campbell as my right tackle starter, but Jones may move to the right guard. We'll see how that plays out as we look at the depth chart. Uh, Jalen Ford coming back. Imagine, I said last week, and I just left it in there. Imagine a world where Jalen Ford and Anthony Hill are on a defense together. Well, Longhorn fans, if they both stay healthy, that's the world you will be living that dream this year. So let's enjoy seeing what kind of chaos the two of them together are going to cause in the Big 12 and beyond. All right, let's not bury the lead any further. A.D. Mitchell is transfer. Well, the rumors say, I guess I shouldn't be definitive about this because I don't think, as of like 10 minutes ago, he is in the transfer portal officially yet. A.D. Mitchell's rumored to be transferring to the Longhorns. Those rumors are running rampant. If you spend any time, like I said, on the Texas boards, the Georgia boards, you're seeing lots and lots of coverage about it. And there's even rumors that he could be on campus tomorrow, today. We're not sure, but he's got to be there soon because look, he's got to be in class. I mean, classes are starting, so he needs to be in class. So he's going to be there when he shows up. They say he may not be gone until spring break. He's not leaving. So once he's there, he's there. This is a huge get. Now, Travis Gailey at Orange Bloods did a really good job. If you're subscribed to Orange Bloods, I would suggest you read this article. I'm just going to give you a real quick clip. Like I said, I want you to see this. This is the guy we're getting, guys. That is him. That looks pretty good to any Longhorn fans that have been watching drop passes all year long. Drop passes over and over. There you go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at a guy that catches a deep pass. Imagine that. Imagine Longhorn fans. How about that? What do we think? That would be pretty sweet to have, wouldn't it? All right. Well, that's what we're potentially getting with AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell was hurt a lot during the season, but he showed up for the postseason, showed up for in the Georgia's biggest moments, and he scored a touchdown apparently in both playoff games that they had. So, guys, just stay tuned because we could be really having some fun. I'm not sure what I did there. All right, there. Ooh. All right, so stay tuned. I would also say stay tuned for other potential transfer news. I mean, I don't know anything if there's anything that's happening, but I know that there's been a lot of reports that this last 48 hours of the transfer portal we're going to be like guys are in, they're already at their school, and they're they're visiting, they're signing, and they're going to class. That's what this was going to be because they didn't want a lot of like tampering and all that kind of stuff. They made their decisions. They want to go. The other big news in the Longhorn world this weekend is Junior Day, and there's a lot of sites that got lists for guys that are coming to Junior guys. And I'm not a big recruiting expert, so I'm not even going to pretend to be. But it sounds like the Longhorns are going to have a huge group in for Junior Days. Now, most people do not expect that that's going to lead like to the um, old Mac Brown days where we'd sign 20 guys on Junior Day. That's not going to happen for the Longhorns now, but we are expecting a pretty good crowd, and we maybe get a couple of commitments. I know there's a couple guys that are probably pretty close that are ready to come to University of Texas. So, all right, the other news, I guess the news is yesterday that was kind of like, okay, that's not nice. A lot of the recruiting servers are putting out their final rankings. They've gone and seen the All Star games. They're putting out their final rankings. And on three apparently moved Arch Manning down from 1 to 3. Okay, guys, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. If he's 3 or if he's 1. But I guess for me, the headline is if you look at these consensus, if you pull like the top four ratings, which is the On Three, Sports 24/7, Rivals, and ESPN, that the Longhorns have 11 players that in the consensus rankings is in the top like 113. 11 out of 113, guys. That's like 10% of the top 113 are all Longhorns. They're all committed, coming, and I don't know, like 9 of those guys are already on campus. So, um, now the one number when I was looking at the on three rankings that I think is, I mean, I just on three is just in a different place with Anthony Hill. They got Anthony Hill as 59. And he's like they're 18 or something in the consensus. So, I think their ranking of Anthony Hill is a lot more of a slight than Arch Manning at 3. But there you go. That's what I'll say about the recruiting rankings. Like I said, I'm not the recruiting expert, but I can deal with numbers. So there you go. 11 out of 113. That's the number I would give you that. So there is the other big news in the Big 12. There's no schedule yet. It's really late for no schedule, and apparently this is like intermixed with like there Texas and Oklahoma are trying to negotiate a deal for them to get out of the conference. I mean, we've talked about that before. They want to get to the SEC in 2024. There's apparently some like, okay, we'll let you do that if you commit to doing playing a couple games at home at these Big 12 at the home of the Big 12 school, so that the Big 12 school would have the TV coverage. That's how they'll make up some of the losses they'll get from the TV revenues. All this is intermixed, and apparently that what might happen in those future years is impacting what they will do with the schedule this year. So at the end of the day, here's what I'm going to tell you. I prepared Longhorn fans and our Sooner brethren out there, prepare to not really be too happy with the schedule. Now, let's at least hope that they're smart enough the have the Red River shootout. I don't think I think that's not in anybody's best financial interest not to have the Texas play OU in the Red River. But that could be. I mean, I guess theoretically that's on the table, but let's assume it's not. Okay, let's assume it's not. Let me at least show you like what could the Big 12 do to these two teams. Especially, I think they really want to hammer Texas more because they see Texas as the initiator of this move to the SEC. So I put together like what could they do? Now I think that now some people are saying like they could schedule only all these four new teams with both teams. I don't think that's going to happen because I think the Baylor's, Oklahoma, Baylor's, and the TCU's, the Kansas State, the Texas Techs, those people are going to want to play Texas and Oklahoma one last time, especially if they can get those games at home. So Horns on the road. Just now, and I also think the Big 12 is going to give both Oklahoma and Texas some unfavorable travel schedules. So just prepare yourself, Longhorn fans, that means BYU in mid-November, mid to late November. Let's hope it's not early snow, but just prepare yourself for a November date with BYU. I'll say that also maybe it's an Oklahoma State trip for Thanksgiving week. There's no like guarantee that they're going to give the Longhorns the traditional home Thanksgiving game either. So that's what I mean. I could see the Longhorns being asked of these cold weather places to freeze them out. I'm just preparing you. This is what I'm not saying this is the schedule. Okay. Don't misunderstand. I'm just trying to give you a visual of what it could like nightmare scenarios. Okay. Then Horns go on the road to Kansas State, another tough opponent for them on the road. I almost like I almost guarantee they're going to go back to Texas Tech. And you say, well, they were there last year. That doesn't mean they're not going to go back this year. And they go to West Virginia. That's 3 long road trips set up for, well, 4 if you count Kansas State for the Longhorns. I can see all of that. And then the Horns would get Baylor. They would officially have Oklahoma at home, although it'll be in Dallas, right? And then TCU and UCF at home, right? So I mean, that would basically give the Longhorns only 3 games at home in the Big 12. That's the sort of thing I expect here. And then they're going to be on the road for 5 games. And you can say, well, it's not fair. I mean, they're playing in Oklahoma. I mean, the Longhorns and the Sooners go through this. One year they only have 3 true home games the year that they're hosting the Red River Shootout. And I expect that's going to be what's going to be given to the Longhorns this year. So, what could the Sooners could be asked to go to the road to Baylor? They could be asked. They could be expected to travel to Cincinnati, and they're gonna. I almost sure that they're gonna have to play Oklahoma State on the road. That game's going to be given to Oklahoma State, and then they'll go to Dallas. So I don't think they're going to be get hammered with as bad of travel. Um, but I think they're gonna take Cincinnati and Houston as the well, the new conference uh, folks in the new conference opponents, and you can see what that looks like. Okay, so that's a kind of like get your head around that. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to be something that you as Longhorn fans aren't going to like, but just prepare yourself. It's okay. I mean, if that's the schedule they can put in front of the Longhorns, go up and beat these teams, beat the tar out of these teams at home, beat these teams on the road. The Longhorns are going to be good enough. They should be able to beat every Big 12 team. I'm just going to say it right now. They should be able to win, uh, 8 of 9 conference games easily. So that's what I'll say. All right, let's look at the reminder. The early enrollee from the Longhorns, they arrived. They are on campus. And as far as my expectations, I think Anthony Hill and Malik Muhammad are going to be starting for this team in 2023 early. I think that it's possible that you could get some other starters in the backfield, defensive backfield as well. But these are the early enrollees, and I would say Arch Manning, Jonte Cook, Gary Gillette, and Gavin Holmes are going to be at least second string guys. So that's where I expect to be these enrollees, and just what's going to be cool about this is seeing how this plays out as we get to training camp. We're going to start hearing reports already about workouts. We're already hearing rumors about like Archer Manning knows the playbook really well already, so he's been devouring the playbook and is impressing the coaches with his knowledge of it. Um, 14 early enrollees, guys. That's a team dynamic. 14 early enrolling freshmen, plus the one transfer in Gavin Holmes, and then I guess we might have one more before in the next 48 hours. So we'll have two uh, sophomore seniors, or I guess Gavin Holmes is a senior transfer. AD Mitchell's, I believe, a redshirted sophomore, or he may be wear a junior label. Depends if they want to classify the 22 season where he didn't play, and then they could call the 22 season a redshirt season for AD Mitchell. I don't think it really matters if he stays around. If he stays around 2 years, he's probably going to go pro at that point anyway. So all right, the other Longhorn news: wide receiver coach search. So there is like massive amounts of like rumors about the wide receiver coach, and you say, well, why did they just hire somebody? There's all these rumors. I mean, clearly Sark is being very deliberate and very detailed in the search. I think, there's some rumors about Chris Jackson, who's a Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver coach. Now, obviously, they're in the playoffs, so it makes sense that maybe the reason they haven't hired him, well, they haven't even had an interview with him yet, is he's busy. He, they can't interview him yet. There's other rumors about support staff roles that are close. So when we get official announcements related to those roles, we'll include it in the Horns Happy Hour, and we'll talk about that. And other things is Gary Patterson returning. There's conflicting reports about it, guys. So again, I hate to be repetitive on this, but there's a few things that are obviously in the works, and we're gonna find out in the next, I would say, next couple of weeks about some of these things. And then in the Gary Patterson analyst role, apparently there's another role that's being interviewed for as an offensive analyst, and some people are saying that they expect that to be a more of a younger coach taking that kind of job and learning from Sark and be a good offensive mind that needs some experience. So we'll see if that turns out to be the case. All right. There we go. Let's talk about like updates to the depth chart. Really, the update that because we actually included the other news of transfers and stuff were already on the depth chart. But I am so confident in this AD Mitchell story that AD Mitchell is on my depth chart. I expect him to start Jordan Winton, Xavier Worthy, AD Mitchell in competition with Isaiah Nayer, Jonte Cook, and Brennan. Jonte Cook, Brennan Thompson, Isaiah Nayer are probably second string. That's partly because, like, where's Isaiah Nayer going to be in his injury recovery? So it may be turned into a Nayer versus Winnington ultimately for that third wide receiver spot, and what's going to happen there. This wide receiver room, guys, is gonna be stacked. And there were a lot of people talking about like the Longhorns need two wide receivers in this transfer portal. Watch how and I told you guys, I think on the last uh, Orange Happy Hour, like guys, they're all saying there's going to be two, but wait till we get the one, and then and see where we are actually post training camp, and if we need another one. I don't think we're not going to need another wide receiver unless somebody gets hurt, unless like Isaiah Nayer is not trending to being really ready to go for the season. So guys, just understand that, hey, this wide receiver room is stacked. You got Jatavian Sanders also as a great receiving tight end. Uh, the offense is going to be good from a passing standpoint. Quinn Ewers, second year, is going to make big strides. And then Arch Manning's going to be there ready to back him up if he has a faltering game. Question in the running back room is like, hey, Jonathan Brooks, probably the default starter, but is Cedric Baxter? How soon does Cedric Baxter start looking like the 5-star running back that he is? Uh, Offensive line. I mean, let's just back up there. Like I've got DJ Campbell, Kevin Banks, Jake Majors, Cole Hudson, Hayden Connor. I guess we're gonna have to see how some of the injury situations play out there. Christian Jones may clearly get one of those starting spots. Probably will during spring training, um, but we'll see how that plays out. And there may be some cross training with some of those guys into preparing for multiple spots, like Malik Agbo, Nato Amazula. Those guys may. NATO specifically may get both guard and tackle training to be ready to go on any one of those 4 spots. Defense is going to look good. We're getting a lot of starters back, guys. I think the number is like 10 of the 11 offensive starters are back, and you see, we're getting a few more new starters in on defense, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 starters back on defense. But some of these other guys like Byron Murphy played a lot. Of course, Anthony Hill and Malik Murphy are freshmen, and they're going to be stud 5-star freshmen. And then Jalen Catalan coming in as safety. So he's new to the Longhorns, but he's definitely, if he's healthy, probably one of the best guys in the whole defense right now. All right, so there we go. Like I said, and I have boldly added AD Mitchell. There's the depth chart. If you have questions about anything on the depth chart, reach out to me. Let me know. Any questions from the Horns Happy Hour? Anything we talked about? We want to have questions. Any like the AD Mitchell news is the news of the hour. Maybe he's already shown up on campus while we've been talking for the last 20 some minutes. But any news, any questions? Otherwise, let's enjoy the rest of our day. It's a Horns Happy Hour. It is a happy hour for the Horns today, January 18th, the day the Longhorns were able to get a wide receiver pried away from Georgia, mainly because he's got some Texas connections that he wants to get back closer to home, apparently. So, all right, guys, and if there's no questions, I will close it down there. Thanks for joining. Again, before you go, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and you know, join the website, subscribe to the website, and you'll get notifications of any of the content we put out for the Longhorns or the Astros there. All right, thanks, guys. Take care. Have a good day. Hook 'em horns.